What she was saying was it was the community, the people here in Las Vegas that was so special. And like I told some of you before, I didn't know that my mom was going to die 1 year later of cancer. She held it from me until I came back and see her when she was only a few days left to live. But she wanted to implant her son in a community that I could grow up and hold her values and instill them inside of me until I don't. And so I'm very, very grateful. Coach, I thank you. Because this would have never happened to me and my family or any other community. And I appreciate what you said and done. One more story I want to share, Coach, with you that always impacted my life. It's the most important thing. Most of the people here, especially on the East Coast and everybody know that how I'm up at 3 o'clock every morning working. And so they say that, you guys are trying, Jackie, you're driving me crazy because you're up in the morning all the time. Well, that came from him. And what he did is that he told me, this wasn't in college, I was a junior in high school. And we were sitting and waiting for him to come in to make a speech, and he was going to come and talk about defense. And then I'll never forget, it was in the August afternoon at 10:26, because I looked at the clock when he came in. He said, you know what, I'm not going to talk about defense. I'm going to talk to you about something you can sustain through life and your whole career. And hopefully this will impact you. He said, all you guys right here are great basketball players, and they're great basketball players all around the country. There's just like you, got equal ability and everything else. The difference is going to be on those Friday nights when everybody's going out, not studying, not playing, not working, not doing the right thing. And the person that does, continue to work hard and do those things all the way through the career. You're all right here. And every time that you go out and you work hard and you do those things, you progress a little bit more and a little bit more. And you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're playing against somebody that you're going to play against next year, and you're getting dedicating yourself, you're going to progress a little bit more, a little bit more. He said, you know what's going to happen when you meet that person? That's going to be the difference. And so he said, you take that throughout your life as well, in anything you do, in business and everything you do. And so right now, Coach, every morning, your little voice tells me in the back of my head that Jackie's time to get up. Because somebody's sleeping. If you're working while they're sleeping, you're getting a little bit better. You want to know how we got here? Because of this. Because what we do is we have a team of people who can do in 1 day what people do in 2 days. And Coach, that's all from the leadership of you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I see a few other people that I wanted to name. Coach George McCorn, who's also assistant coach here, and Danny Yaller. When you lose a father, you don't have a dad, you look for people who are mentors. And these guys, no matter what, no matter if I want to hear it or not hear it, they tell me the truth. And so I greatly appreciate your friendship, George, for everything you've ever done. Thank you very much. Last I want to talk about is the project, and you heard a little bit about it. We don't want to be long-winded because I know you're ready to go. But what we've been trying to do from the standpoint of looking at this project, we stood on this land for the first time. We looked around and saw these buildings. What we wanted to do was make ourselves be a great neighbor. And so when we first came up with the concept, a lot of people scratched their head and asked me, well, Jackie, why do you want to do that? And what I mean is that we sit here and we looked and we drove around and said, listen, you know what? It isn't a grocery store in this vicinity. And you have these lovely condominiums here, and they have to go off premises so far away to do that. So we incorporated into our plans that we're dedicated to bring in a high-end grocer, whether it be Whole Foods or Sprouts, to be here in the community so they could come right here and be able to not to go out several miles outside for their groceries. The other thing we wanted to do is that we looked and saw from a movie theater perspective, where was the nearest movie theater? And we looked and saw that the same thing, had the same problem. They're within 4 or 5 miles before they can see a movie. And so we incorporated it into our plans and dedicated that as well to have high-end movie theaters that will be dedicated here. What we want to do is make sure that the residents here will be able to use our facilities on a day-by-day basis. Next, we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we want to impact the community. We just didn't want to have an arena that would be used for the strip only. So we've dedicated an area called Victory Plaza, in which we will celebrate our diversity for Cinco de Mayo, Chinese New Year's, and any other type of diversity aspect we have, 4th of July, Veterans Day, that we'll be able to do on an ongoing basis, along with bringing other family quality types of shows. The third thing is we also want to be a good steward and be a good partner with the rest of the Strip. We thought it was very, very important to bring in high quality entertainment. So we partnered up with Comcast Spectacor to come in that will run our arena, will book our conventions, and bring the best entertainment in the world. Peter, I'm counting on you. Last but not least, there's two other things we wanted to say, and then I'll be through. Is that one, we wanted to make sure, working with the commissioners, what they wanted to do is make sure that one, that we would impact local participation for jobs and also for minority and women-owned groups. We're dedicated to that. One of the challenges that minority-owned groups have is when they receive a contract, then they cannot perform because of finance. And so what we told the MBDA and also our finance groups and also our construction folks, that we have folks that are qualified to have those jobs that cannot get the financing. We're going to make sure that we're going to rally around them to make sure that they have the financial dues so they can complete the job, because we want that to. When you have an economic situation like this, it impacts the entire community, not just one part. So we're going to make sure of that. So with that, again, Coach, and all the folks that are here, commissioners, everyone, thank you so much for what you've done for my family and for me. I can't tell you from the bottom of my heart the impact from what you had on generations down, the opportunity you give that I had for myself. I look over, see my nieces and nephews, they became entrepreneurs because they saw their uncle become an entrepreneur. And so that impacts jobs and creating jobs and not looking at the situation from hopelessness, but them for self-reliance. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Now we're going to do some shoveling here, right, Jackie? After that.